Hockey's back, baby. Let's go.
I think that's the goal there, to be honest. That hockey was phenomenal. All right, Newcastle is a Stanley Cup champion once again. Woo! And hey, Bruce, there it is. Bruce, there it was. At least it wasn't Adam Fox.
It's two juggernauts just colliding with each other. What?
Weird.
Now we have to deal with another generational talent in Chicago. Root.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. Sorry for the hiatus here. We've had to do a few things, in real life there. But now we're back at it. And right in time for playoffs. We're so hyped. B-Dog, my good sir. How are you doing today?
Oh, let's go, boys. We are officially, well, as you guys see this, we are in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now. We're doing it just a day before. We're going to get predictions. We're going to look at basically what we predicted the standings would be from the beginning of the season. We just got so much to talk about. I'm super excited to be back because, honestly, I've missed this. The last episode we posted was about a month ago. But, boys, we are back, and we're not going anywhere. Expect us every week. Just get used to it. We ain't going nowhere.
Used to it. We don't leave.
You better subscribe. You better subscribe so you know we don't go anywhere, boy.
Just like my parents' basement. I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Yeah. So my question to you, man. Okay, this was a great season overall. Like, don't look at the Flames. Don't worry about that team. Just in general, what did you think about the season?
We had an amazing season from Nathan MacKinnon. We had an amazing season from Kucherov, 100 assists. We had an amazing season again from McDavid, another guy who hit 100 assists. And you even talk about the debut rookie Connor McDavid. And even for the Flames, Connor Zary surprised a lot of people. And it was a great season overall, man. And there was a lot of teams you didn't expect to be in the position of a playoff spot at the beginning. But as time kind of told its own story, now it kind of makes more sense. I'm happy it's finally over. And we're to the best part of the end of every season. It's playoffs.
I get so hyped. Like, it's because tomorrow is when it starts, but like, I don't really care to do anything else tomorrow besides watch some playoff hockey after work. Yeah. Like, it's that point, and there really isn't, and there's some biasness here because we kind of grew up hockey fans and all that stuff, but there's nothing that beats it.
No,
like I like the NFL playoffs. I don't really like the Super Bowl, I'll be honest. I think it's a little over-glorified. But I do like the playoffs. MLB playoffs are a lot of fun, too. Basketball, you know what? I struggle to watch it, but it is pretty good. But to me, nothing, even UEFA, FIFA, whatever, nothing compared to playoff hockey.
Dude, I'm so excited. But I think before we do discuss about playoffs and our predictions for those playoffs, there is something we do need to discuss involving something in the desert that won't be there anymore. And as you've not heard already, the Arizona Coyotes have finally been approved to move to Utah, Salt Lake City. Here,
baby, I'm moving for you. I'm not gonna lie yet. Okay, so it's sad for me. I'm not a Coyotes fan at all. Your childhood. The Thrashers to me are a part of my childhood because I remember seeing the Thrashers, and following the league during that time. So to see them move, it's like a piece of that childhood kind of moving away in a sense. So there's some sentimental value to it. Plus, I love their jerseys, but I really do feel for the fans. You can see all those fans, just bawling their eyes out after the game against the Oilers at Mullet Arena. They actually do have fans. We've all joked about this, and I was a little sour about this whole thing because it's like, and I still think it's true. If Arizona was Quebec, they would have been moved so much quicker than what actually happened, and they really want it to work. Yeah. So, but to really see it now, it's sad. But at the same time, Utah, there's a fan base there. there's a fan base there, and that's been proven because already 22,000 people have put deposits down for season tickets. There's demand there, so it's going to work in the NHL's favor.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. But as when you talk about the idea of what Arizona was for the last couple of years, the team just wasn't good. And you notice with the ownership that it wasn't great ownership because obviously hockey works in the desert. Vegas on its own has been showing that every year they're in the league by revenue, by star power. They just won a Stanley Cup last year, and they're looking pretty good, right? But the thing with Arizona was it wasn't a team that was winning. The ownership wasn't really that great. Hell, there was even that discussion a couple weeks ago that Arizona's management wasn't paying bills for hotels or anything. So hotels that were that's crazy.
To be fair, it's not all the ownership's fault, but as more comes out, and to be fair as well, what's gonna come out is to then put a foot on or put more of a bad name onto ownership because of what's happening. That's just how headlines work.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you talk about the hotels and things of that sort, and backing out of deals and all of that stuff, and even just the way that Morello just tried to respond to getting refunds for people who already paid for Arizona Coyote season tickets for the 24-25 season. Yes, they were already selling this even when they knew that they were going to most likely sell. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, exactly, right there, man. It's brutal.
Let's quickly just break it down. So this is what happened. The whole arena thing's been trying to go on for a long time. They need to get a new arena. NHL does not like Mullet Arena because it's not professional league worthy. Fair enough. I mean, I bet you the players liked it. And they probably liked it for some things. I know they didn't like it that it was such a small barn. But then they try and get certain land to build a new arena on. They can't find anything. And then there's this auction. So this auction can't be bidded on until 27th. So that's kind of their last hope. But nothing's happening. And then Ryan Smith has kind of come in and recently been talking about getting a team to the league and, kind of doing everything that Bettman would like him to do. So, kind of playing that, what's the word? Just kind of playing the Bettman's liking. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Do what you need to do. Business is business. And so, pretty much, Arizona's in this whole thing of trouble, and Utah comes in to pretty much pick it up. So, the ownership group of Arizona sells it to the NHL for $1 billion. Then, NHL's laundering the team to sell it to Utah, to the Ryan Smith group there. Smith Entertainment Group is what it's called, for $1.3 billion. Therefore, that profit, $300 million, will go to all the board of governors. And if I'm correct, Morello selling it, I think he makes about 500 to 600, 700 million in profit himself, which is pretty crazy. But here's the thing. So Utah get all the assets from the Coyotes, but the Coyotes team is now disbanded, so it's not in operations. So in a sense, it's kind of an expansion team what Utah is, but isn't. But pretty much this is happening so that Arizona, so then if Morello can get that land auction and build that entertainment district, the rink, the malls, the restaurants and the hotels, all that fun stuff, then in a few years when they want to expand again, Arizona will be one of those teams to expand. And then they would just go through that Vegas/Seattle draft, which I can see maybe that working. But I'm not gonna lie, like I don't even know if he even gets the bid. Like even if he gets the bid, does anyone want him as the owner? Like that's a bad taste for these Arizona fans. Like I feel worse for the grassroots portion. That's who I feel bad for. This team will be good. How competitive? I don't know, but I could see playoffs in the future, even if it's just a wild card spot. And so, wouldn't that be something if they make the playoffs the year they leave?
Yeah.
They leave Arizona. That'd be such a slap in the face to Arizona, man.
Oh, brother, imagine that. Just like years of like depression and rebuilding, and then the year they leave make playoffs. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Didn't the Quebec Nordiques leave and become the Colorado Avalanche, and then the year after they went to go win a Stanley Cup?
I mean,
Dumb.
I wasn't born, but I think about that sometimes too. I'm like, oh yeah.
I think this will be a really good opportunity for Utah as a city because let's be honest, hockey fans are absolute nuts. And if Utah Jazz fans like basketball, I think you're going to love hockey 2 times more. I'm not going to lie to you. I think hockey is a great sport, and I think Salt Lake City or Utah, I guess you could say, since that's the team name that they're going to use for it, Utah, it's going to be great for them. And the last thing I'll say about Arizona is you guys deserve a team. You just deserve a better owner because that's the only way that team is going to work at all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 100.
Now that it's done and playoffs are on, we've been wanting to do this, and oh goodness gracious, we were very wrong. But at the start of the season, we did our predictions for each of the standings, or for each of the divisions: Metro, Atlantic, Central, and Pacific. And yeah, how did you do, buddy? Because comparative to my estimate from the start of the season to the actual correct standings at the end of the season, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 correct out of 32.
Oh my god. If I start off with the Pacific Division, how it ended up this year is Vancouver on top, Edmonton second, LA third, Vegas fourth, Calgary fifth, Seattle sixth, Anaheim seventh, and at the bottom of that division is San Jose. I got San Jose and Anaheim right. Vancouver I had sixth. That's so depressing. I had Seattle fifth, so they dropped down. Calgary was fourth. LA was third. Vegas was second. Edmonton was first. So I have the right people in the top 4 except Calgary. I really messed up with that Vancouver pick because I didn't expect them to be that good.
Me too. I think you did better than me on this one. Although this is my best one in the division. I got 4 of these correct. So mine was 8 San Jose, which was correct. 7 Anaheim, correct. 6 Vancouver. 5th Calgary, correct. 4th LA. 3rd Seattle. I didn't expect them to just not know how to score anymore. So my bad. 2nd Edmonton, that happened, and then 1st Vegas, Golden Knights.
Oh, okay.
I think I had reason for that, but I didn't think about injuries and Stanley Cup hangovers and all that. But it wasn't too bad. All right, I think we should just go right into the Central.
Yeah, go right to the Central.
Yeah, okay, so the correct standings were 8 Chicago, 7 Arizona, 6 Minnesota, 5 St. Louis, 4 Nashville, 3rd Colorado, 2nd Winnipeg, and 1st the Stars. I said 8 Arizona, 7th Chicago. It's kind of funny. It's just, I mean, I just thought Bedard would do so. Oh, you know what? Taylor Hall was still playing hockey before the season and wasn't injured, so there's probably a few factors into that too. 6 was St. Louis, I said. Winnipeg 5th, Nashville 4th. That was my correct one. Yeah, that was. 3rd Minnesota, 2nd Dallas, and 1st Colorado. So
okay,
but like, yeah, you know what I mean. So
yeah, I can understand that. So with this division, I only had 2 teams right. So 8th was Arizona. Chicago was 7th. Same scenario as you. We thought Bedard would actually do a lot more than we thought he would, but injuries kind of caused that to kind of go down too. So
they're not. Hold on, before we get shredded off on TikTok and stuff. Bedard was a fantastic player this season. I don't even know what his point total was.
Probably winning in the Calder.
But honestly, he's going to get 100 points. I
would say next year. Year 3
he's getting 100 points. He'll get 35 to 40 goals next season, then get a 50 goal plus 100 point season year 3.
Oh, dude, Bedard on his 3rd season actually sounds deadly. But as I continue down this road, my 6th was St. Louis on mine. Minnesota was 6th in the standings. Then I went Winnipeg 5th. Nashville I got right. Minnesota was third in mine. Colorado was third in the actual standings. Colorado second, and Dallas is first. So I got Nashville and Dallas right at least. I'll give myself that. But
That's good. That's good.
I think I'm just going to jump right into the Metro Division.
Oh,
and...
don't do this to me, brother. Don't do this to me.
Bro, that's freaking nuts. Okay, so if I'm correct, I've only gotten one team right in this division. So
me too.
The standings right now would be Columbus 8th, New Jersey 7th, Philly 6th, Pittsburgh 5th, Washington 4th, the Islanders 3rd, Carolina 2nd, and the President's Trophy winner, the New York Rangers, are 1st. So mine looks like, so I said Philly is 8th. I said the Islanders 7th. I said Columbus 6th. I said Washington 5th. The Rangers 4th. Pittsburgh 3rd. The only one I got right was Carolina 2nd. And I said New Jersey would be first. Oh, no. So bad.
So me, this is mine. Philly 8th. All right. Columbus 7th. I thought Johnny Hockey would. I didn't.
No.
I just thought the Philly was going to be worse for some reason. Washington 6. I mean, 6 worse with goal differential. I don't actually know.
Worse in the playoffs.
Islanders 5th. I think that's hilarious. 6th and 5th. These guys are in the playoffs. Like, that's something else.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh 4th. New York 3rd. Carolina 2. So I got Carolina 2nd and the Metro correct, but then I said New Jersey 1st. And think about it. Like, how they played and came back against New York the last playoffs. Why wouldn't you look at it? And then they had Toffoli. That Sharon Govich-Toffoli trade at the start of the season, like, it looks like it's a win-win. Sorry, more or less, I would say a win for them. But they had more scoring ability, and it just...
The top 6 looks so good.
They need Dougie Hamilton. That dude is so valuable to that team. They didn't have him all season. Man, do they need the confidence in the backup and the defense. Like, Luke Hughes, I think, will be a good defenseman, but you can tell he's a rookie. He makes a lot of egregious mistakes.
Yeah, true.
And that will just be fixed with time.
I mean, you do make a really good point with Dougie Hamilton being out of the lineup did cause a lot of problems, but I think another thing you have to add to that too is that the fact that their goaltending was Vanacek and Dawes, and it did not help at all in the season.
I was thinking that Kira Schmid would also take a step, and he didn't. And, I mean, Vanacek's gone now, but
just not great goaltending, and it kind of caused the downfall, to be honest, and we just didn't predict that.
Can you imagine if Markstrom did get traded to New Jersey, like, during the deadline?
Oh, you know what?
I wonder.
Things could change. Things could change.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think that getting a goalie in such a short amount of time would be of much benefit.
Yeah.
You don't know, man. I mean, hockey's hockey. This is a sport that I don't know. I can't explain it. Yeah, that's a justification for being not smart.
Literally. But I guess we move on to our last division, and I'll go first. So how the actual standings ended up was Montreal 8th.
Oh,
Montreal 8th, Ottawa 7th, Buffalo 6th, Detroit 5th, which I would argue should have been in the playoffs. Tampa 4th, Toronto 3rd, Boston 2nd, Florida 1st. I only got one team right, and it's 8th. I had the Montreal Canadiens. 7th, I had the Detroit Red Wings. 6th, I've had the Boston Bruins. Whoops, I thought that was the downfall year. My bad.
Fair enough. I mean, it's justified.
I feel like a lot of people are now just predicting the downfall.
I didn't think Pavelzak and Charlie Coyle were going to be Bergeron Krejci reincarnated, all right? I'm sorry.
My apologies. My apologies. I didn't think Allmark would still have a great season with Swayman as well. So, okay, where was I? I had Buffalo 5th, Ottawa 4th. That wasn't a great pick on my part. And then oh my god. So then I had Florida 3rd, Tampa 2nd, and Toronto 1st. Only one team right. Only one team right in the Atlantic.
You're gonna laugh at this one of these. Okay, so I got 2 right, but they were in the bottom 2. So Montreal, Ottawa.
Okay.
Number 6 was Detroit. I wish they made the playoffs. I think the league is better when they are in the playoffs, and man, I would love to see Showtime.
Oh, dude, it could have
Playing
been
some
so
playoff hockey.
good.
Oh, it would have been great. But whatever. I guess negative goal differentials prevail. Okay, so number 5 was the Panthers. I really thought they would take a step back. I'm just thinking because of how injured they were, and I guess my thought process is kind of what was happening with Vegas. In a sense, I mean, Vegas still like had a good season, but you can tell that there was some effects being lingered from that cup run.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what my thought process was with that. Number 4 for me was Boston.
No.
I guess I must have thought I stepped back, but nothing too crazy. I was thinking Boston would be a wild card team. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I was wrong, but that's fun. Who do you think my number 3 was?
Oh, wait a minute. I think we made a big deal out of this last time. I think you said Buffalo.
I did. I did say Buffalo.
Because my pick was Ottawa from Atlantic that would make the jump, but you said Buffalo. I remember this conversation. Buffalo looks good though. Like realistically, if you give Devin Levi another few seasons to like actually grow as a goaltender in the NHL and get some experience underneath him, he could look like a very promising starter. And looking at what that trade with Bo and Byram did to their defense, those top 3D look disgusting. And Tage Thompson is the top center there. The team could look good. Just as I talk about Ottawa, Brady Kachuk's probably getting traded. He's leaving like his brother. He wants out.
Maybe. I mean, probably. I don't know. He should come to Calgary. Yeah, that's true. Promising, but just another season of no Buffalo hockey.
Yeah.
And then number 2 was Tampa. Number 1 was Toronto. Yeah. I mean, I think Tampa right now is a better team than what their standings predicted or shows. But I'm okay with being wrong on this one. The Buffalo one's egregious, and so is the Devils one. Those two are just ooh.
It's ugly.
Terrible.
It's ugly.
But hey, guess I am not a scriptwriter, so.
No, neither am I. But you know what, though? It's practice makes perfect. This was our first year of actually doing standing predictions in the NHL. Did it go awful? Yeah, it really did. But you know what? You gotta lose some to win some, right? But Dog, it is time.
Yes, sir.
It is time for what we've all been waiting for. It's playoff prediction time.
Yeah.
You know what, T-Dog? I'm just going to hand it right to you. Give me which do you want to start off with? You want to start with the West or you want to start with the East? Which one's harder for you to predict? That's my question.
They're all okay, so I've been saying this for a while. 12 of these teams, I can make a reason for them winning the cup.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I don't even care because so many of these teams have potential, so much depth. Okay, West is the hardest for me. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
I'm start. You know what I'm going to start with, just because I'm wearing the hat. Vancouver, Nashville.
Ooh,
this is going to be a great series. Goaltending battle. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. You know what? Vancouver definitely, in the standings show they are the better team. But I got to say, the way that Nashville was playing, especially with that point streak that they had, you don't sleep on this team. No. You do not sleep on this team, and if you do, you're going to pay the piper. I think this series goes to 7, but Vancouver wins the series. I honestly think that Nashville's going to give them a run for their money. Now, you can talk about, is playoff experience something that actually matters and is an actual factor? I don't know. That's up to the person to decide. But for me, I think it will have a little bit of a factor. I think Vancouver has this perseverance because of their coach Talkett that, they're going to be able to kind of push through. But I'm telling you, if they have trouble scoring, here's the thing. This game series could go quicker if players like Pettersson, get their scoring up and Lindholm does. That's great. If not, and Saros is, holding that fort down, some of these games could be 3-2 OT wins kind of thing. So I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to be very important, to win when you're at home. And in that case, if that's going to be the case, then Vancouver wins in 7 because they do have more home advantage.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to watch this series. I'm going to try and watch every game of this series just because, dude, Vancouver playoffs is so much fun to watch. The fans are different, so it's I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, we know. We've seen them when they lose in a final. We know what they can do. But no, I think so. My predictions on Vancouver and Nashville, you're right. It is a little bit of a goalie battle with Saros and Demko, but and you can also make the discussion defensively wise for that Norris. You got Quinn Hughes, who's having a crazy season with Vancouver. Then you have Roman Josi, who's still, you could say, a top 3 defenseman in the league.
Yeah.
So my predictions, Vancouver in 5. So I think realistically, Vancouver is just on a kind of a different level than what Nashville is. I'm not taking anything away from Nashville with Roman Josi or Philip Forsberg or Saros, but I think it's too much to handle because you look at Vancouver's top 6 right now with that addition of Elias Lindholm. But the thing with Lindholm is he didn't exactly pan well out for the rest of the season with Vancouver. Actually, Kuzmenko's got more points than him. Just throwing that out there for Flames fans,
I love Kuzmenko. Very, very nice. Very, very, very blue. Very sunny here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vancouver, for Kuzmenko.
Bro.
Much appreciate that. Hey, I have you guys winning this in 5. I think it's going to be too much for Nashville or Saros to handle with Vancouver, and they're such a deadly team. Vancouver in 5. That's as simple as it can be for me.
I'm thinking we're gonna go right to Winnipeg, Colorado. This
so
I don't have time to watch these games. I want to watch all of them.
Oh, it's so good.
Winnipeg, Colorado's gonna be so good, and Winnipeg's got home ice advantage. Oh. Okay.
Whiteout. Dude, the whiteout. If you play Winnipeg, you play their fans in playoffs.
I was like, as a joke. Not as a joke, but just curiosity. Looking on Fan First, bro, tickets for like playoff games, like $250. I'm like, let's go to Winnipeg, man. I mean, dude, I would love to go to a
whiteout. That would be sick.
Oh, man, it'd be an experience. This game, okay. Man, this Winnipeg team, I'm so impressed with them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of a closeted Winnipeg fan this season because of them having a few Flames players. I will always love Monahan. I love Toffoli, but man, this team is like that again. That Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. What would they be without that trade? This team's different. If they didn't do that trade, it's worked in their favor. Like when Velarde's healthy, but he's a stud. Colorado has McKinnon. They have Makar. Goaltending my problem here for Colorado. Now, Colorado. Okay, so maybe I do believe in experience because I'm thinking this goes to 7. Winnipeg wins it, and it goes to 7. This is what I think. I think Colorado has another cup in their tank, but I think it's going to be like how they won in 96 and 01. There was some space between, and I think with the cap era, it's just going to have to like rebuilding assets here. Okay. I don't think this team is like you said this last year with Tampa Bay, because we both thought that Toronto would beat Tampa.
Yeah.
Because that was the worst Tampa team in that sort of cup era. Yeah. I think right now this is the worst Colorado team since that cup era.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to have a lot to do with it. And if Hellebuck stands on his head, I mean, the series could go lesser. I'm not saying anything against Colorado. Like this is going to go down to the wire. But I think Hellebuck is single-handedly going to get these guys to a 7-game series and win it. If Winnipeg wins the cup, I'm going to be honest, I don't think they will. Hellebuck needs 2 Conn Smythes because that's what he'll have to play like.
Well, I can definitely say that if there is a goalie in this league, and out of every goalie in this league right now, to steal a series, Hellebuck is the goalie you want to steal a series with.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, when you have a fan base like the whiteout in playoffs, you have a goalie like Hellebuck, you have a team like Winnipeg, they're a wagon, dude. They are a wagon just as much as Vancouver. And they're basically the underdog of this like idea of playoffs right now for me. Because you look at Colorado, Nathan McKinnon just went on a 138-point season right now. That he's probably going to win the Hart just for his team alone. And then, like you talked about, we still have Cale Makar and Devon Taves, probably the best two-man pair D core in the freaking league. And then you have Ranta there and Gorgiev. My worry is Gorgiev goaltending-wise for that team. Well, actually, I kind of love the fact that you made about this going to be kind of like the Stanley Cup run they made in 96 all the way to 01, that they had to take a few seasons to kind of regroup and repair. And I'm realistically talking about Landeskog here because there was that kind of rumble that he could potentially be ready for this year's playoffs. But I'm like, get him ready for next year's, because if anything, next year's is the playoffs they could go for a run with Landeskog.
For sure.
You know what? I got Winnipeg in 6. I think Hellebuck plays on top of his head. I think the whiteout is going to be too much for the Avalanche, and I think it's another first-round exit for Colorado. I hate to say it. I had to think about this matchup for 10 to 15 minutes just because Nathan McKinnon is on a run right now. This man is built, and his teammates are even saying, like, holy shit, he is so fast, and he's like 6 foot 220. Like that is nuts to me.
I don't know well, but I think Sam Girard might actually have some sort of injury as well.
Oh, and they're down defensively too.
They say that Rantanen is off a concussion protocol in time for playoffs. So, the problem is you might just be cleared to go because it's playoff time. You don't care if you're injured; you're going because it's playoffs. Let's do it. Okay. Vegas, Dallas.
Oh my God!
This might determine who goes. I'm just saying, this series could determine who goes to all the way. And nothing will happen, but okay, I'll start with this.
Yeah.
Vegas. They're getting Mark Stone back. You know, this guy loves just getting healthy for game 1 of the playoffs.
Gotta love that.
A Tomas Hertl. So they got the forward ability, and I'm telling you, if they gel, that's a lot of goals getting scored. But they got to score against round 1 Dallas Stars. Jake Ottinger, baby. Jake Ottinger. As Flames fans would know about this, that dude sounds on his head. And he's played fantastic this season. He really has. That's going to be a trouble for Vegas because of injuries and things like that. And can your team gel when you're getting all these assets, but they've only played with each other for so long? How many games did Hertl play in the season with Vegas?
He's only played like a few, maybe
only 30. A few. It takes longer to gel, and I think about that. You know, in my mind, it comes to Toffoli with Calgary. We saw it gel better as he got a full season in with the team.
Yeah,
but it's like, does that affect how this team plays chemistry-wise? I think so. I think the defense, too, getting Hannifin's fantastic. And signing him, locking him down is great because he's a younger guy than Theodore, and so you can kind of bank on that. But I just wonder, too, goaltending for Vegas. If this is a goalie matchup, Dallas is going to win this series, right?
Yeah.
Not that Aiden Hill's bad, it's just he's taken a step back, and they just haven't gotten the goalie tending they've needed consistently throughout the entire season. And they've had a few streaks where we didn't know if they were going to make the playoffs, right? Even when they went full on out and got Hannafin at the deadline, as well as Tomas Hertl, we didn't even know because they were a few points ahead of, was it St. Louis or Nashville? One of those teams?
St. Louis. It was St. Louis.
Yeah. And so they could have been kicked out of the playoffs right then and there. So I think Vegas is underlying with will the team gel and injuries if they keep persisting. We'll see how that goes. But I just think Dallas is just a fantastic team. They're deep everywhere. But fantastic. Dallas in 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
After all that, Dallas in 6, buddy. Dallas is a wagon.
Dallas
I'm telling you, after this, playoffs, I might have to get a Stars jersey. I mean, I'm kind of alluding to maybe who might be doing pretty good this June, but yeah.
You know what? Personally, just wait until they go do a throwback to the Mike Modano jerseys. That's going to be the next throwback.
Yeah,
Dude,
when I
that
pay
would be stories.
$500, it's a Fanatics jersey. Can't wait.
No, so dude, you make some great points there about both teams. Vegas is top 6 is heavy loaded. You got Mark Stone suspiciously coming back to round 1 after injured for half, like till the trade deadline, basically. You still have Aiden Hill, who played ridiculous last playoffs for that cup run, and oh my god, dude, Jack Eichel still and Mark Stone and dude, such a good team.
What about playoff caliber or playoff clutch guys like Jonathan Marchessault too?
Oh, there we go. Marchessault. That was the other name that couldn't pop up into my head. You know what, though? With the Hanifin extension, I don't know how the hell they're going to sign Marchessault. I think they might have to let him go just on the fact that they don't have cap space anymore after that extension.
They'll make it work. Trust me, it's Vegas.
Yeah, but those are going Vegas. They're pretty cutthroat, pretty much. So they might just release them even after everything. But no, you know what? I got to also give my credit to Dallas because Dallas is looking deadly. They are deep in every position of that team. And you're right. Jake Onger is a freaking demon in the first round of the playoffs. Every Flames fan knows this. So this is going to be a great matchup. I think it goes to 7, but it goes for the boys in green. I think Dallas is winning round 1 against Vegas. I hate to say it because I think Vegas is deadly, just deadly team. But I think Dallas is deadlier right now. They need a deep playoff run. There is a matchup we could talk about where the goaltending isn't that great.
May I rant?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so Edmonton LA series. This is a trap series for Edmonton.
Hold on, what?
This is a complete trap series for Edmonton. This is what I'm worried about for the Oilers. You cannot look ahead. You cannot be thinking, I wonder what Vancouver or Nashville is going to look like when we play them. You cannot do that.
No.
You cannot. This is the third time you played them. Yes, Edmonton's a better team overall than the Kings. Overall, I honestly cannot find anything that LA is better at Edmonton than, goaltending maybe. I don't know. I think Skinner can honestly play pretty well when the team's well. But this is a trap series, man. If you play into LA's freaking boring hockey, you're screwed. You're losing in 7, bro. You're losing in 6. Something like that. What I worry for Edmonton is they just don't take it as seriously as they should. Like, if Edmonton, plays and they lose the first 2, that's deep trouble, man. That being said, I believe Edmonton wins in 6.
Okay.
But I don't like having to play the same team every year in the playoffs. I actually think it would have been better for Edmonton to play Vegas. I say this because if you beat Vegas, that is your kryptonite. Honestly, I think if you beat Vegas, that probably gives you momentum to go all the way to a cup final.
You know what? I love the fact that you said this is a trap series for Edmonton because if you really do think about it, this is the 3rd time in the last 3 years that they're versing each other in the first round. Edmonton took the first one. Edmonton took the second one. LA is hungry for a win in a series here against Edmonton. You could totally see LA stealing a series here from Edmonton as they were just trying to get to the second round, but they couldn't get to the first round because LA was so hungry to get past the first. I like that. I could see that happening. You know how memeable Oilers fans would become if that shit happened?
There's something in me internally that sounds like I don't like this series.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I think it's going to be Edmonton in 6, but you are correct. This could be a trap. It's a trap.
Admiral Akbar. Battle of Florida. I would love to hear.
Oh my freaking god! This is gonna be the best one, dude. This is gonna be the best matchup between these two because last time they versed each other, they didn't have Kachuk.
They're gonna kill each other.
They're gonna kill each other. That'll be so good. Okay, give me your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay. Woo! It's Battle Florida. This is becoming one of the best rivalries in sports, easily.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is to prove Florida is now the best team in Florida. Tampa, like your time frame's running out on to trying to get another cup run. I look that Duclair signing is fantastic. You got a Kucherov. This Nikita Kucherov is legit. Like, here's the thing: we all talk about the 100 assists, and with McDavid, it's impressive. But it's like Kucherov did that too in the same season.
Yeah.
This guy is an animal. Pair that with a skilled point and a skilled Stamkos. If these guys get it going, like, my goodness gracious, and Vasilevsky. So you need is a Vasilevsky. That's all you need, man. And goalie could win for Florida as well. Oh man, I mean, look at that offensive firepower that they had this year. Reinhart's going to get an absolute contract. Reinhart might get as much or more than like Nylander, bro. Like,
oh god,
it's crazy. Someone's going to regret paying that money, but it's going to have to happen. I haven't heard much about Tkachuk this season. I'm not going to lie. And I don't know if I like that because he'll play agitator, but hey, maybe he'll be clutch. You don't know until it happens. I think Tampa in 7. And I think Tampa in 7 because I don't know. I have a feeling that Tampa, a lot of us are doubting this team because they're not what they once were. But I still think they got the pieces that they can do something with it. And I really think, especially with having Vasilevsky, I'm not saying that Bobrovsky's gonna, poop the bed or anything. I just think Tampa Bay still has that dog in him a little bit. So I think they kind of squeak up that 7-gamer. But it will be, I think there's going to be a lot of hits. I think you're going to see a lot of reels on Instagram and stuff of them just kind of pushing each other and getting into fights. So
I'm going to be the one posting them.
Yeah, that'd be.
That'd be, boys. The grind never stops.
Never stops, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you have?
So, Battle of Florida again. Last time we were here, it was just Barkov and Huberdeau. But now, it's Barkov and Tkachuk. So, you definitely got to agree it's going to be a gritty series because these two don't like each other. You look at Tampa, though. I said it before, I'll say it again. You do not underestimate a team that's won 2 cups in the last 5 years. You do not underestimate Nikita Kucherov, who put up 144 points in a season and probably has just as much right to say he's the Hart winner. Oh, dude, Sam Reinhart is going to get a contract. You are definitely right. Goddamn, 94 points on the season.
I never mentioned Hedman.
Victor Hedman, top 5 defenseman in the league.
Yeah.
Steven Stamkos, going into next season without a contract, still had a 90-point season.
He's going to look good in the Flames jersey.
I think realistically, the only thing stopping Tampa from this point is Vasilevsky's health. That would be probably the only thing because he came off of a big surgery this year, and he's not looking exactly the same, but still top 5 goaltender in the league. Tampa in 7. Simple as that. I love what Florida did last year with the finals run, and to be honest, they probably could have done it with some of those injuries, but Bobrovsky looked gassed. I'm sorry, you guys lost that, but you aren't getting past Tampa. I think they make it far again. Sorry.
Fair enough. I find it funny how similar our predictions are. So we didn't talk about our predictions until this.
No,
it's kind of funny how that works.
We literally, this is the first time hearing each prediction. First time. But you know what? Can we go back? Speaking of series that are happening again, like the Oilers and the Kings, there is another one coming back this year in the first round. The Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders. They're coming back to back, baby. Ooh,
can I have a rant again?
Oh, you're going to have another rant?
Yep.
You know what? I like your rants. Go ahead. I'll let you be.
New York does not deserve a playoff spot. They play the most boring hockey I've ever seen. Have you ever watched a full 60-minute game of an Islanders? Have you ever watched... Sorry, let me rephrase that. Have you ever watched a full 60 minutes of an Islanders game in this past, 10 years?
Dude, you're just as pissed about the Islanders as Biz does, man.
Bro, they're so boring. I have nothing against the players or nothing, but Lamoriello teams actually can Leave, bro. Like, honest to goodness, Sorokin is like their saving grace, all right. But here's the thing, Carolina, the Gensel acquisition is just like it.
Oh,
The
good.
combination is as good as like peanut butter and honey on toast, man. Just fantastic. Like it is Carolina.
Make me hungry.
Okay, their goaltending. Their goaltending was a little shaky, but because I see how the team plays in front of the goalie, defense too. I think Carolina has a big edge over the Islanders. Bro, I'm gonna be wrong on this one. I know I will. By the way, Patrick Waugh, I think what he did with the Islanders to get them to the playoffs is actually really great. So good for him, and good for the Islanders, to make the playoffs. All jokes aside, but Carolina in 5, man. I think Carolina's out for blood here, and yeah.
So Carolina in 5. Okay, that's understandable, and I think I'm gonna go in the same kind of route. I got Carolina in 6. I said this from probably halfway through the season. I think Carolina is probably going to be one of the teams out of the East that go to a finals, make a finals appearance. First time since the Cup win, but now we enter a rematch from last year. You're right, the Islanders are kind of boring. They look better since they added Bo Horvat, and Sorokin still looks like a really great goaltender. But you can't keep up with Carolina. Are you nuts? Sebastian Aho is having a great season. Freaking the addition of Jake Gensel has made this team deadly. The veteran leadership on defense with Brett Burns, Jacob Slavin. You also have Tony DeLangelo there's back again. It looks so good. Just every piece of this looks great. Frederick Anderson re-healed from his injuries, and he has a great backup. It makes sense for the Carolina Hurricanes to move on in this. It really does.
Slavin is such an underrated defenseman. What about Seth Jarvis and Brett Pesce? Like those are some assets any team would kill for them.
Like seriously, dude, their top 6 is deadly. I love it. But
it's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's just Carolina like goaltending, man.
Carolina 6.
Because if Anderson gets injured, Kachekov needs more time, and Spencer Martin is not a number one goalie. And Antiranta is not here.
They had to rely on him on a conference final, and it didn't go well.
It did not.
Round? No, that was a conference. Yeah, that was a conference last year.
New York Rangers, Washington. I want to save the other one for last, just because it's named,
the best one.
All right, New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals. I think it's another trap series, man. Washington has nothing to prove, man. They're just here. Like, they have nothing to prove. So why not just, go out and just try and, kill Matt Rempe and everyone, So, I'm going to say this goes to 7 games, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. What? Don't tell me that somehow Washington is going to just make New York play for their money, man. And I think it's just, I don't know if it's that the Rangers don't take them too seriously, or it's that maybe just Washington it knows that they have nothing to lose and they just play like it. The thing with Washington is they really shouldn't be a playoff team, man. They're not that good. Who can score goals for them? Strome, Ovi, Lapierre, maybe a little McMichael.
I don't know, man. Don't underestimate the power of.
I don't know, but what if Charlie Lindgren? Bro, Charlie Lindgren, he is actually a pretty good goalie. He can win some games, but you're playing against Igor. But Igor hasn't played to what he can be. New York is a weird team because, it's their market that they're in. It's like any of these Canadian markets. Because of the market they're in, they're a heavily criticized team. So no matter what they do, there's going to be some criticism. It's a great team, but sometimes they don't play like it. And that's what worries me. New York wins this in 7.
So, I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't, because I will make this debate. I wish Philadelphia didn't pull the goalie. I wish they forced OT. I want Detroit in a goddamn playoffs again. They deserved it this year. And god damn it, Washington. God damn it. You have one job, but You get the honor of versing the President's Trophy winners, the New York Rangers. I think the Rangers win in 5. I think it's as simple as that. You do get, I think, at least Washington can win a game with playoff Ovi going off probably in Washington. But realistically, Rangers, this is an easy team. You should be able to blow by this team and get ready for round 2.
They should, but I don't think they will. Like they're gonna, and that's the thing. If they're gonna struggle with them, it's gonna
That's
suck.
concerning if they're going to struggle with Washington.
Yeah.
You know what? We've seen it before.
Dude, and that's the thing. It's playoff hockey, so if something happens, like I'm not even surprised anymore. Last one, then. Boston versus Toronto. Too many.
I bet every Leafs fan got PTSD from hearing the first round announcement.
Hey man, there's no Bergeron anymore, so they might be chilling. You want to go first on this one, buddy? Because
okay, you know what? Yeah, I will. So, poor Steve Dangle, man. I think everyone probably saw that video of him just not even laughing in a funny way, laughing in a pain that no other fan base could really feel except the Leafs fans. So I'm going to start off with that. And oh my God, I can't believe we're actually about to see this series happen again. Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak are going to be the two guys from Boston leading the charge in this. Do I think Allmark is the starter? 100%. I think he could potentially steal a game or two in this series. He really could. And you have Charlie McAvoy on defense, but then you look at Toronto, and that top 6 is still probably one of the deadliest in the league. Matthews almost got 70 goals this year. There is some concern with injuries on Max Domi and some parts of the defense, even Morgan Riley, I hear.
Nylander apparently might not play game 1.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And Bobby McMahon. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, that's concerning too, man. And realistically, you also got to think you're starting your first 2 games in Boston. And do you think realistically Samsonov is going to start? Is that really the goal you want in game 1 of playoffs? There's a lot of factors here on Toronto's end, man. But I think history repeats itself. Boston in 7. I think realistic. Like, dude, let's be honest here. Either way, this goes to game 7. No matter what, it's going to kill Leafs fans all the way up until game 7. And I think Boston's taking it. 100%.
Yeah, it's okay. So, you make a lot of great points. Goodness gracious! Now that you say that, okay.
Sorry, the one thing I will add is if Toronto, if what I say is true, Matthews has to be scoring, has to do something. I think it starts off with Matthews. If he does what he does in the regular season and playoffs, I could be wrong. But if he no-shows again, it's over.
Yeah, actually, man.
Because he no-shows in playoffs sometimes, man.
Bro, give yourself a round of applause. That was actually really good. That was actually some good points you made.
Thank you very much.
Brad. All right. You make some great points, my good sir.
That's it. That's why I say it.
So, they did much better than we expected them to because, they lose. Krejci and Bergeron. Additions with Pat Maroon. Things like that. Big rig. That doesn't really matter, I would say. But one thing I looked at with Boston, most OT losses in the teams in the playoff perspective. So there's been a little bit of inconsistency with Boston, and I wonder if that is a factor to play. I think my thoughts are much like the hockey guys on what he said for his prediction. Toronto has a scoring ability. Their goaltending, both of them, like Allmark and Swayman are great, but they're not what they were last year. But Swayman's kind of tipped it a little more to his side. It's hard to kind of say whatever, but a lot of good things for Boston, I'd say. I gotta say, man, Toronto. It's like goaltending that worries me and injuries. But if you can like somehow keep the injuries to a minimum, Toronto in 6. But if you say it goes to 7, because this is what the Hawkeye said, I agree now. Toronto in 6, but if it goes anyways to 7, it's a Boston win. Anyway, it goes to 7, it's a Boston win. So I think Toronto wins this in 6. It's going to be tough, man. It'll be gritty. I just think to them, their new demon's the second round. I think after beating Tampa last season, that's their new kryptonite. It's the second round. And this is crazy for me to say this because that means all 4 of the Canadian teams advanced to the second round. When was the last time that happened? I have no idea.
But hey guys, that has been Chel Talk Stanley Cup predictions for you today. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, a comment, and please subscribe. We love the support you guys give us on all our channels. Keep it up. We love being back at this again. We sorry for the delay, but boys, we are back. T-Dog, wrap this up.
All right, like B-Dog said, thank you very much for watching, listening, however you are consuming this content. If you did like it, smash that like button, leave a comment down below. Question for y'all. Who's making it out the first round? Each series, give us your predictions. Who's making it out of all of these first round matchups?
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.